Okay, we have been working with TXT files. Now we will start working on CSV files. As a Python developer, you will always be working with the CSV files because, as you know, Python is widely used in data engineering, machine learning, data science, artificial intelligence, right? So all of these needs data. So most of the time your data will be in a CSV format. Okay, so that's why reading and managing, handling the CSV file is very important. All right. So in this one, we will see how we can perform various file operations on these CSV files. Okay. So here I have one data.csv file. So this is one very simple file. Let me open and let me show it to you. Open it with Excel. Okay. You see it has name, email and phone number. Okay. Only two data we have. So let's say I want to read this file. Okay, I want to read this file. There's two ways to read the files. One is using the inbuilt function called read lines, and another one is using the Python's inbuilt module called CSV. Okay, so Python by default gives you the CSV module. So in that CSV module, you will have a lot of utility functions, or you can say inbuilt functions. You can make use of those functions in your project. Okay, so first try to read the CSV file without using the with statement. Okay, with the read lines function. All right, so let's let me write reading CSV file without using with the statement. So I will say file is equal to open the file. Which file it is? It is data.csv. Okay, so you can also create one CSV file. Otherwise I will attach this data.csv for your convenience. Okay, so data.csv, then the operation that we the mode that we want to perform is read, right? So we'll write r. Okay, so after that we will say content is equal to file dot read lines. Okay, file dot read lines. Okay, it's not just a read, it is read lines because we want to read the rows of a CSV file, right? So that's why it is considered as lines. So that's why file dot read lines. Okay, now we will print the content. We'll print the content and let's say file dot close, right? So using this traditional method, you cannot forget to close the close the file. Okay, let me save it and let's run it, and you see name, email, phone number, and then the data is being printed here. Okay, so that's one thing, and it is actually considered as the plain text. Okay, so this file dot read lines will consider your data as a plain text. Okay, so to format it, you have to use the CSV module. Anyway, we'll see that later, but but first we will try to read this CSV file using the with statement. Okay, it was without using the with statement, it is with using the with statement. Okay, so I'll say with open data.csv. Okay, data.csv, again operation mode we have to pass, and then you say as file. Okay, put a colon, and then you say content is equal to file dot read lines, and then you can simply print the content. Okay, simply print the content. There is no need to explicitly close the close the file. Okay, let me comment this code and I will save it, and let me run it again, and you see we got the output, right? So this is the content that we have in the data.csv, you see here. Okay, all right, now the problem is, you see it is this read lines is considering the data as a plain text, but we don't use read lines more often. We always use a CSV module of a Python. Okay, so let me comment this out, and you see this is actually being printed as a list, name, email, phone number, and the data. There is no format, right? Now let's try another way of reading the CSV. First thing you have to do is import CSV. This import CSV you can import anywhere. Usually we import the modules in a first line of your Python file. Okay, so this is the best practice. Always try to import the packages or modules on top of your page. Okay, so let me calm down. And all right, so I'll now use with open data.csv. Okay, data.csv, and again it is read mode. Okay, as file, same thing, it is also same line, and it's also same line. Now I will say content is equal to csv.reader. Okay, csv.reader. Why I'm using CSV? Because I have imported this CSV here. Import CSV. It just comes from Python. CSV is a inbuilt module of a Python. Okay, so it just comes from Python. So that's why I'm just importing it using import CSV. Okay, so CSV is here. Okay, importing the modules or package. That means we can access that package in this particular file. Okay, so csv.reader will pass the file. Okay, so this file is being passed to this reader function. Reader is a default function that comes with CSV module. And now we can say for row in content, we're actually looping through each of the rows. Okay, we are reading each of the rows inside a CSV file. Okay, so as I loop through the rows, I'm printing that row. Okay, I'm printing that row. So what I'm doing here, using the with statement, I'm opening the file as a file, and then I'm using csv.reader to read this file. And after reading the file, the content will be stored inside the content object, and then we are looping through this each of the lines. Okay, this is one line, two line, third line, fourth line, like that. Okay, so let's run it again. Okay, now you can see here it is printing the content inside the CSV file, right? So one more thing you notice here, so each row is being returned as a list. Okay, each row is being returned as a list, and the elements will be like this: name, email, and phone number. Okay, similarly the data will also be like this. Previously readline function was only treating this content as a plain text, but this one is now properly managed, I mean arranged. Right, now what if you want to write the file? Right, what if you want to write the file? Right now we have this one, this data, and now if you want to write the file, I will first prepare a data. Okay, so your data can be inside in a list of list. Okay, so this time I will say first name, last name, and gender. Okay, first name, last name, and gender. And after that the data will go like this: first name is Ratan, comma, last name Kumar, the gender male. Okay, so I will again put one more data, that's maybe John. I'll say Doe, John Doe, then he is male. Okay, so I've got this data, and I want to write this data inside this data.csv. Okay, maybe we'll we'll create new, new data.csv. We don't want to replace this. We'll say with open and say new data.csv, comma, the mode will be write. Let's say as file, and here I will simply say writer is equal to csv.writer. Okay, so for reading the CSV file, it is reader, and for writing it is writer. Okay, so this writer function will take the file, and then we will say write dot write rows. Okay, not write, it is writer. Writer is the object that was created by this csv dot writer. Okay, so this can be anything. You can say content or data or something. Okay, simply say content dot write rows. You pass the data. Okay, where is the data? This data. Okay, this data we want to put inside this write rows. So it will actually take the take every list and put it inside each row. So that's what this write rows do. Okay, so now if you can also print something like this: csv file was saved or written or something. Okay, so let me clear it, and you see this write mode will create the new file called new data.csv if it does not exist. Okay, if it exists, then it will actually replace the data. If it does not exist, it will create the data and create the file and put the data. Okay, let's run it. Python 3 learn python.py, and you see the new data.csv has been created, and you see it csv file was saved, and inside this file, let's see what is there, and you can see here it has created first name, last name, and gender, and the data is also stored. Okay, so that's how you write the csv file. And before I close this video, I just want to take one more example of appending a new line new line of data for the existing file. Okay, so that is by using the mode a, right? A is for append. Okay, let's quickly do that. Let's say new data, or maybe new entry. I'll say new entry is equal to create a list and say, let's say Joseph. Okay, let's go with this test, Joseph test, and gender again is male. Okay, so we have this new entry, and I want to put this new entry here in the line 4, right? So I will again say with open, the file is new data.csv. You simply have to change the mode to A. Okay, A is for append as file, and you say again for the for appending also we have to say like content is equal to csv dot writer. Okay, put the file inside this writer function, and then you say content dot again write row. Okay, again write row, and put the new entry. All right. Okay, one thing to notice here, we are using write rows here. Okay, and here I'm using a write row. Okay, so previously we had some 2-3 data, right? So that's why I used write rows, but right now I only have one data, right? So there is only one single row, so that's why I'm using a write row. Okay, so that's the difference. All right, now I will say print new entry added. New entry added. Let's run it. Okay, new entry added, and let's see. Okay, you can see the data has been added. So that's how you can read, write, and append the CSV files using the CSV module of Python.